I'm Brittany Stewart. I am the co-founder of Burst Oral Care. I'm an angel investor and I'm a venture advisor. And as you know, we've been doing a series of founder exchanges, talking to entrepreneurs about their businesses and, what's going on in their personal lives. And so today I am joined by Bryiana Dyrdek. Hi, Bryiana.
Hi.
Bryiana is the CEO and founder of Iconic Beauty.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
I want to take this conversation back, maybe way back here. My understanding is that you began your pageant career pretty young. So I would love to understand, what drew you to that space? Why pageantry? Because I do think that this is infused in the message and vision of Iconic Beauty.
Pageantry is quite a loaded thing for me, and I didn't realize how loaded it was until pretty recently. So I started doing pageants my freshman year of high school. And I have so many wonderful stories that I could share on that. But I always wanted to do pageants when I was growing up. Like, I knew that I wanted to be a model. I knew that I wanted to get into pageants. It's just something that has always called to me. But my mom grew up in the Midwest, and everyone she knew who did pageants fit the stereotype. So she was like, "You're never doing pageants. I'm not raising a daughter thinking she's better than everyone," and like all these things. Well, when I was 10, I was diagnosed with severe aplastic anemia. My doctors told me that I probably only had a few days to live, and without a bone marrow transplant, there was no way I would live. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation granted my wish of going to Hawaii and swimming with the dolphins. And after that, the Make-A-Wish Foundation had such a big place in my life. Like, I would do a lot of their charity events, and when I was at one of them, I met a pageant girl, and I was like, this is exactly what I need to be. Like, she's a real life princess and everything that I want to be. So I found a pageant that focused on inner beauty rather than outer beauty. I put together this whole presentation for my parents and was like, these are all the reasons why you should let me do the pageant, and I'll raise all the money on my own. And they were like, if you think that you can raise all the money for this very expensive hobby, then go ahead. Because they didn't think that I could do it. And I did it immediately. And it unlocked a whole entire obsession for me. And it really helped mold me into the person that I am today. And I'm so grateful for that chapter of my life, because I wouldn't be who I am today without all of that.
Do you think that being an entrepreneur is like in your blood, like it's your DNA, this is who you are? Or was this a crown that was like thrust upon you because no one else was filling the space?
Well, I feel like it's a little bit of both, but entrepreneurship has to be in me, because what junior teen is out running the streets of her hometown asking for sponsorships to, help her raise money to go after this dream that she had? I Back then I would also have my own fundraisers and like bake sales and whatever. Like, I would make my own art, and I kid you not, it would be getting a piece of paper, some pink markers, scribbling on them, and like telling my neighbors that they could have one of a kind piece of artwork by me.
Okay. You financed your pageant debut by selling homemade artwork to your neighbors.
Oh yeah.
That's unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
But again, the answer is it's your DNA. Like, you made a product, you found a market, you sold it, you were going to that pageant.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Iconic Beauty now. So you have this passion for beauty, and I don't mean just the external things, and you've turned it into a business. So what is Iconic Beauty, and why? What drew you to making such a thing?
For me, pageants were this really great thing for me to be part of, because I got to be me, and I got to learn these great life skills, and I got to set goals and figure out how to break them down into smaller steps to achieve them. And my favorite part was the sisterhood, like the girls that I had in my life. But I did that all throughout high school, and then as I became an adult, I was like, where are the friendships? Like, where are the women? Like, I want the adult version of the sisterhood that I had as a teenager, but I have no idea where to find that. I got into network marketing in 2014, and I got a taste of what that like family was like again, but it was so male dominated, like the company that I was in, and I found myself talking like a Bay Area frat boy, and I'm so pink girly girl that like it didn't make sense. It was not it. I was not where I was supposed to be. So it really ended up working out that I was like, okay, I'm just going to go make my own. Like, I'm going to take these lessons and I'm not going to have an MLM. I'm not going to do the whole network marketing thing. But I know that this family of bettering yourself exists out there. I'm going to go make the girl version of it. So that's really the intention behind Iconic Beauty. It has always been to look good, feel good, and do good. In the very beginning, I didn't know what that looked like because I didn't have experience and I didn't have the knowledge or really anything. I had a really big dream and crossed my fingers, and it's gonna work out like everything always does because I was a positive thinker, and that's how you get what you want, or so
Yep.
I thought. And then Iconic Beauty was going to be a beauty pageant, and then it was a modeling competition, and then it really was like it's personal development for women who like to look good, feel good, and do good.
Talk to me about social media. I feel that it is both easier and more difficult to build a community than it has ever been before because you've got all the technology to do it, but there's a lot of noise. So, how do you think about social media helping you build your brand and expand your community?
I look at it like I am my audience. And so I create content that I like, I create content that I would like to see, and it may not resonate with everyone. And I expect that because there is something in different corners of the internet for everyone. I want the pink, sparkly, feminine, doing the most, a healthy-ish balance of basic and extra, like that is what Iconic Beauty is, and that's what I want. And I feel like there, while it's not the majority by any means, there are other women out there who are looking for something like that. So I'm like, hey, we're over here if you want us, and if not, then like I like other things too, but this is where I feel at home, and it's where I feel like anyone who wants something like that too can just go and pop in and like feel good, and take some little takeaways on how to feel like your iconic beauty.
I love that. And I also think the more that there are women like you who exist, who are just authentically doing what they like, the more, whether or not someone is exactly like you, but maybe there's a part of them that's into that, right? It's a validation of no one is just one thing. We're all many different things. And the overt outlet for that thing that look good, do good, feel good, that deeply feminine part of yourself, she exists inside of all of us to some degree. And when you see someone like you putting it out there so vulnerably, so authentically, you feel like, yeah, I am going to embrace this. And this is who I am today. With the burst community, social media has connected me to people all over this country. So we have 40,000 women all over the country. I've got to experience walks of life, ways of life that I would never have been subjected to. I grew up in Chicago, super urban. I moved to LA, super urban. And the majority of our ambassadors are in Texas, Florida, and Georgia,
Mhm.
places that I've not until birth spent very much time. And now, Texas Brittany's a whole other person.
Yeah.
Texas Brittany two steps. Texas Brittany has white cowboy boots. Texas Brittany has a denim mini skirt and she goes two stepping in it. And Georgia Brittany is a different Brittany, and Florida, and so I've had these amazing experiences by being open to other people's authentic realities. And so for me, that's the greatest gift of social media is I get to like dip my toe into lots of different ways of life. So then when you think about your journey of like you fought your way into pageantry and then now you have a daughter who is five,
Mhm.
six,
Almost 6, yeah.
and you have involved her in pageants.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
is that such a beautiful thing to share something so meaningful to you with your daughter?
It is because it's something that she chose for herself. So she saw me compete in a pageant and then she was like, "Oh, I kind of want to do that." And he was like, "Okay, when you get older if you want to." And then she saw me compete in another pageant and she was like, "I have to do this." And we have never seen her so excited about anything. We would watch her like practice by herself. Like she has her little dress up heels and her crown and she would like play pageant all the time. So then we were like, okay, if this is something that you really want to do, it takes practice and there are rules. And the three rules are to number one, have fun, smile, and look at the judges. But the most important one is to always have fun. And she can like recite that perfectly. Because for me, pageants were such a great thing because I was able to do so much and learn so much and just be my best self because at the end of the day, it was never about winning. It was never about bringing home a crown for me. It was about the overall experience from the moment I decided that this is something that I wanted to do.
I love that. I feel like as I've seen the world shift in my adult lifetime, there is such a different narrative about all the things you can be, stigma, non stigma for females. And I think one of the last barriers that we are still breaking through and haven't quite is women being confident about their own sense of beauty. I feel like when I grew up, there was so much validation. Like if you wanted to be smart, if you wanted to be sporty, but if you were interested in the way that you felt about yourself and the way that you looked and felt, somehow that wasn't a thing.
Mhm. It's
And
almost like it wasn't allowed. Like
it was,
you're vain or you're not a good person if you care about those things. I feel like pageantry is like be pretty and smart and kind and giving and whatever you want to be.
and like a sisterhood, right? You see these women who do pageant stuff together and they have like this sister. I mean, obviously seen what you've been involved in. And to me, that feels no different than when I was on swim team. Those women were like my sisters and we trained together, we competed together. If one of us wasn't in the pool, the other person was cheering it on. It actually doesn't feel any different. It was discipline, it was camaraderie, it was taking care of yourself. And I do think that beauty is this very taboo thing still to this day for women to talk about.
Mhm.
Because you be pretty, be like, don't be too pretty. And be sexy, but like, don't be too sexy. Or if you're too sexy, then you couldn't possibly be smart. And there's all of these things where they're trying to get you to slot into something that may not be authentic to who you are. Personally, I feel it's the last thing we're claiming for ourselves, which is yeah, I am by day I'm gonna do some Excel and by night I'm gonna look fly as hell. Like that is who I am. And those are both congruent with one another. Help me understand as well, you balance your time, right? You are a phenomenal mother, you're a phenomenal wife, you're a phenomenal friend, you're a phenomenal CEO. How do you think about all of these things in the air and how they intermix with one another?
Thank you. I take pride in being a great wife and mom and friend and everything that I do. It really does go back to the beginning of Iconic Beauty in 2014. I mapped out in great detail what I wanted my life to be. And I didn't I have to know the specifics of how I was going to get there, but I did know exactly the type of wife that I wanted to be before I was married. I knew exactly the type of mom that I wanted to be before I had kids. I knew exactly what type of community that I wanted Iconic Beauty to be and what all of that looked like. And the details of that changed throughout the years because I changed throughout the years, but I am, really intentional about all of that and what I want it to look like. So,
So you think your intentionality informs your success? That you were like defined, like this is what to me being a great wife is. This is being a great mom. This is a great CEO, and you think you manifest based on that intentionality.
yeah. And for me, manifesting goes way beyond just, hey, this is what I know that I want, and I'm going to cross my fingers and hope for it. I tried that. It actually doesn't work the way that you think that it does. So I would after I figured out the type of mom and wife and entrepreneur that I wanted to be, I found out who was really great in those areas and learned from them, because someone somewhere has already done something that you want to do. Maybe not to the T, but you can take what resonates with you and throw out the rest, and you can fill in the blanks and, kind of cut and paste however you see fit to craft the life that you really want. And I feel like that's what I've been able to do.
As you think about what your dreams are, so you started this with just a very big dream, and you've realized that Iconic Beauty has become a personal development company. Look good, do good, feel good. Where do you think your dreams take you next? 5 years from now, you close your eyes and you're like, I did it. Like, what is that feeling? What have you done?
I think the next chapter of Iconic Beauty, the one that we just started to enter into in the last couple of months, is where I've always truly wanted Iconic Beauty to be. Because for me, it is about the sisterhood, it is about the personal development, it is about bringing people together in a safe place to dream your big wild dreams and to not allow anyone to tell you that it's too big, unrealistic, it's any of those things. Like, I've never been able to hear any of that. La, 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 I can't hear you. And so I want everyone else to be able to have that place too. But because I do have that entrepreneurial spirit, I wanted a product that fit perfectly into my life. I created my dream product, and now I get to share that with people through the secret ingredient, which is a little stick pack that is pink and delicious and has edible glitter and vitamins. That's good for your hair, skin, and nails. It has L-theanine for focus, caffeine for energy. It really is like the perfect kind of, I'm gonna sip on some Elle Woods approved drink while I map out world domination and wear pink and sparkles. And who's gonna tell me that I can't?
My favorite thing about the secret ingredient, my favorite use case is I put it in my clear glass water bottle you sent me, and I go to like reformer Pilates, and then I like have sips of it in between, and then maybe sometimes I take a snap of myself like working out, like, oh, just doing hot girl shit. Uh, like it just sort of elevates like this experience of drinking water, because I usually put something in my water to like make it more functional. Just the added pink and the added sparkle makes me feel it's these little things. Like, I don't know if you have the same thing. Like, half of me working out is just putting on the clothes. Where if
Yeah.
the clothes are on, I will work out. If they are not on, the workout will not happen. Who do you find to be inspirational? Like, do you have like a Mount Rushmore of these are the people I look up to?
Yeah, I love fictional characters. So I don't know that it's necessarily like a social media thing from accounts that I follow as much as maybe like Pinterest. I love Elle Woods, and I think she's so great. Like, if I could be anyone, it would be her, because everyone just has this image of like who she is to them. But at the end of the day, Elle's just like, I'm doing me. Like, this is the life that I want. And it doesn't have to be approved by you. Like, it's the one that I want. So it's the one that I'm gonna live. And I love that.
But I feel the same way about Elle Woods. I think she's this universally loved character for a reason, which is that no, you're not. I'm not this label or this label or this label. I'm hot pink. I'm Harvard Law. I'm a sorority girl. I'm someone who fights for justice. Like, there's all these Elle Woods things that I think are so applicable to all of us. And that's why it's like one of the most beloved characters of all time. I'm gonna second your Actually, I feel like my sweater is very Elle Woods
It
today.
is. It is. It's like feminine, but like boss mode and all of that. I also think that Barbie is a perfect example too, because she's everything and she's just doing her.
We have a shared love of our fairy books. If you think about when we were really young, all of these fantasy books had male characters. They were male driven. That's the hero, whether it's Harry Potter or The Lord of the Rings. And now we have like these badass female characters who, I'm going to save you.
Yeah.
But I'm also really pretty. I'm also really loyal and fierce and powerful and all of these things that you want to be. I think it is the blessing of our lifetime that these books exist.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. These female main characters are also fully embracing their feminine energy too. So it's like you're all of these things, but like their femininity is their superpower. Like it's what makes them so amazing.
Tell me about the color pink. So this is a debate and this is a conversation we've been having over here, which is that our brand color is purple, right? We're the purple army, and it's sort of, we wanted something that just stuck out in this noise. Blue and white dental everything looks exactly the same. Pink, what, I feel like pink is having its moment and
Mhm.
it's reclaiming itself. It's not a taboo anymore. How do you think about the color pink?
Pink has always been my favorite color, always. But I was always told, like, oh, you're too girly. Like, you're too, like, grow up. When are you going to grow up? And I feel like pink is such a, it's like youthful. Like, it's a fun, feminine color to most people, but I feel like it is the color of Bryiana. And I feel like growing up in the 90s, like, I feel like your favorite color was either pink or blue. And now that I'm older, I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna fully embrace pink, and I don't care if it like looks weird to other people, but like this is fully me. And so I feel like by being able to channel pink, my entire 2-room office is like floor to ceiling pink glitter walls and all of it. I If I can make it pink, it's gonna be pink everywhere because I just love it.
Talk to me about the success of your company tied to the color pink. Do you feel that being pink helps or harms your business?
Oh, it definitely helps because it's authentic. It feels good. It feels empowering. It feels like perfectly aligned. If there was any other color, it wouldn't make sense for Iconic Beauty. It would be something else. Like Iconic Beauty is pink.
I feel that too. So we actually make our toothbrushes in rose gold, both the Pro and the Curve, and our most profitable colorway of all time is rose gold. So we've done lavender, we've done berry, we've done black, we've done white, we've done cobalt. Rose gold's number one. In fact, we went on QVC one year for the Christmas deal, and the rose gold outsold every other color 2 to 1. So I think the proof is also in the financial pudding that the pink is the way to go. Okay. And so the last thing that we're asking people is, we always want to know, and you're a beauty queen, you're a pageant queen, you're Mrs. Queen of the World, right? Like, what is your nighttime regimen that people want to know?
You don't want to know. Um, You see, I have this thing where we put our kids to bed at 7. We couch potato for an hour on, watching like royalty shows, my husband and I on the couch just by ourselves, and then stumble into bed at 8 o'clock and start the day all over again. I don't have like I don't like, I sleep in my makeup. I'm just,
You wake up like this?
well, it
You
doesn't look like
just
this
knew
when
it?
I wake up.
I knew that
I'm
there was
obviously
something that I was gonna not like about you, and I've decided that so you just go to bed.
I go to bed. I go to bed. And my makeup artist hates me for it because she's like, this is really bad for you. And I'm like, for 32 years, I haven't had an issue yet. If it becomes an issue, I'll change
Oh,
when when I have to, but I'm too lazy.
you've made some sort of deal with the devil.
I definitely got lucky. I would just rather wake up in the morning, shower, like I'm gonna wash my face there anyway. Just do it one time. So don't come to me for hygiene advice. I'm not the one. Sorry.
Donna, you've blown my mind here. I thought you were gonna be like, you don't want to know, it's so long. And you're like, I just close my eyes and I go to bed like Snow White. Like, well, maybe the wisdom here is we're all overthinking it. There's another woman who works on our team, Georgia, Emma, who has like the greatest skin of all time. And one time I was like, what do you do? She's like, water.
Oh, like drinking it?
No, she just splashes it on her face, and that's her whole skincare routine. And I had to like go walk around the block. Like, how dare you? How dare you?
Aspirational. I think we would be great friends.
Bryiana, thank you so much for joining me. I know how busy you are, and I just know that your story is incredible and people wanted to know more about you. So thank you so much for letting me ask you a million questions.
Thank you so much for having me. I loved our chat.